This video is about special systems of equations. Please make sure you have this worksheet out in front of you and that you are filling it out as we go. I'm going to skip to question number 3 because it'll help you answer the first questions after you see me do a couple of problems. So in this problem, you have x and then you have a negative x. So if you look at that, you'll realize that this x and this negative x cancel each other out. But then you have a positive 3y and a negative 3y, so they cancel each other out too. And the equal buddies, you have a positive 4 and a negative 4. Those are going to cancel out also. So what's going to happen in this problem? You're going to get 0 for the x's because they canceled out. You're going to get 0 for the y's because they canceled out. And you're also going to get 0 for the equal buddies because they canceled out. So everything's gone. How do you solve this problem when everything canceled out? When everything cancels out, it leaves you with the truth. It is true. 0 plus 0 does equal 0. So when it tells you a truth like that, that means that this has an infinite amount of solutions. So anytime you're left with 0 plus 0 equals 0, that means your answer is that there's an infinite amount of solutions and you're done. Question number 4 is somewhat similar. Look at the x's. You have 2x and a 4x. What can you multiply this 2x by to make it turn into a 4x? That way they can cancel each other out. 2 times what gives you 4? 2 times 2 gives you 4. So you have to multiply 2 by everyone in order to make it a legal move. The rule of math, you can do it as long as you do it to all of it. So here are the answers we're going to get. 2 times 2x is going to give you 4x. 2 times 3y is going to give you, 2 times 3 is 6, so 6y. And 2 times 5 is 10. Next, you're just going to bring over this equation. You're not going to change anything about it. Bring it over. And now you're going to combine these two. Positive 4x and negative 4x, that's going to cancel out and give you 0. Positive 6y and negative 6y, that's going to cancel out and give you 0. But over here at the end, you have 10 plus 7. That did not cancel out. 10 plus 7 is 17. So what does this mean when it's lying to you? Because we all know that 0 plus 0 is not 17. When it lies to you, 0 plus 0 does not equal 17. That means that this system has no solutions. So when it's the truth, it's infinite solutions. And when it's a lie, it's no solution. Now you can do numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your worksheet. Please pause this video to do so. Now you try. Again, pause this video so you can do the rest of the problems on the worksheet. Unpause it to check your answers. The answer to number 5. You have 3x minus 6x. What can you multiply the 3 by to make it turn into a 6? 3 times 2 gives you 6. So let's see if the 2 works for it all. 2 times 5 gives you 10, but 2 times 1 gives you 2. So everything will cancel out except for the equal buddies. You're going to have a 2 up here and a 14. So it's going to be 16. So it's going to lie to you. It's going to say 0 plus 0 equals 16. And that's a lie. So the answer is no solution. For number 6, you're going to multiply the top by 4 because 4 times 3 gives you 12. Let's see if the 4 works for the rest of it. 4 times 4 is going to give you 16, and 4 times 3 is going to give you 12. That doesn't cancel out with the 8. So here is another lie. You're going to have 0 plus 0 equals 20. and that's a lie, so it's no solution. For number 7, you're going to multiply the top by 2. Why 2? Because 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0 is 0. And it will cancel out with this 0 down here. So this one will give you the truth. It will give you 0 plus 0 equals 0. So when it's the truth like that, it's infinite solutions. Number 8. You're going to multiply the bottom by 2 because 2 times 2 is 4, and that will cancel out with the top. Let's see if 2 works. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 6 is 12. So it's not going to cancel out with the top. The top is not 12, it's 16. That's why this is no solution. Number 9. I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2 because 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 10 is 20. And 2 times 6 is 12. So these endings are going to be the same. They're going to cancel each other out. I know I'm doing this very quickly because I'm just talking to you about it, but please make sure that on your worksheet, you're showing all the steps that I'm talking about. Make sure you show the parentheses and that you're multiplying all of this by 2. Show your work. So this one, by the way, they're all the same sign, so you'll need to multiply by a negative 2. I didn't mention that because the negative times a negative will turn this to positive. It'll be positive 16x. Then it'll cancel out. And then the negative 2 times the negative 10 will give you a positive 20. So then that will cancel this negative 20 out. And then the negative 2 times a positive 6 will give you a negative 12. And that will cancel out with this one up here. So everything will cancel out. It'll say 0 plus 0 equals 0. What does that mean again? When it's a true statement and everything's canceled out, that means it's going to be infinite solutions. Number 10. Number 10 is no solution. Let's look at why. I need to multiply the bottom by 2. If only there was a 2 right here, I could cancel it out. But not just any 2. It has to be a negative 2. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. So my x's will cancel. Negative 2 times 7 will give me negative 14. So that will cancel with this positive 14. And then negative 2 times 7 will give me again negative 14. But that doesn't cancel out with the 4. So it'll be a negative 10 as my answer. It's going to give me a lie. It's going to say 0 plus 0 equals negative 10. And that's a lie. That's why it's no solution. Number 11 is the challenge problem. This is a 3-variable linear equation. You have x, y, and z. I wanted to make sure to show you one of these because in Algebra 2, we do work with systems of equations with 3 variables with the z. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and think about a number that all 3 of these can turn into. So what number can 2 turn into, 1 can turn into, and 3 can turn into? If you multiply, what number can they turn into? They can turn into 6, right? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make all of these turn into a 6. I'll show you how. If I multiply this by 3, I will get a negative 6. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x. 3 times 12 is positive 36y. And 3 times 4 is 12z. And last one, 3 times 8 is 24. Now, ask yourself the same question. What can you multiply x by so it can turn into a positive 6x. You can multiply it by a 6. If there was a 6 right here, then we could cancel it out with this 6. So I'm going to multiply everyone by 6. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 6 is 36, but there's a negative there. So it's negative 36y. 6 times 2 is 12, but there's a negative right there. So it's negative 12z. Last one, 6 times 9 is 54. And so that's the answer for that one. Last equation. Again, we're going after sixes. 3 times what gives you 6? 3 times 2 gives you 6. So let's multiply by 2. What's 2 times 3x? Well, 2 times 3 is 6. So it's 6x. What's 2 times negative 18? Feel free to get a calculator. 2 times 18 is 36. Don't forget the negative. So that's negative 36y. What's 2 times negative 6? Well, 2 times 6 is 12. Don't forget the negative. So it's negative 12z. Last number. What's 2 times positive 12? 2 times 12 is 24. So here is our system. Our numbers are similar, and what you need to do is look at two at a time. If you look at these two, the 6x and the negative 6x will cancel out. The positive 36y and the negative 36y will cancel out. The positive 12z and the negative 12z will cancel out. But the 24 and the 54 are different. They are not going to cancel out. So you could probably guess what the answer is going to be already. You can take the bottom equation and look at it with the top or the middle. No matter which two you grab at a time, everything will cancel out. Some of you are thinking, but wait a minute, these two won't cancel out because they're both positive. So if you would have to take another extra step and multiply one of these by a negative 1. So you would pretty much just switch the sign. If you switch the sign to this blue 6x, it'll turn into a negative, and then it'll cancel out. If you switch the sign here, it'll turn to a positive, and then it will cancel out. If you switch the sign here, it'll turn to a positive. It will also cancel out. If you switch the sign on the 54, it's still not going to cancel out because they're different. So the answer to this is going to be 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals some number, which is not 0. So no matter how you look at it, it's going to give you a lie. So it's no solution. All right, you have one more challenge problem to try on your own. Please try it out, show work. I'm not going to do that one with you. I want you to try it on your own, but do check with the paraprofessional to make sure that you got it right. Thank you for watching this video. Try the practice problems that follow. Thank you.